Imagine you're deep in the woods, the leaves crunching under your feet, with the sound of birds all around you. You're wearing a coonskin cap and carrying a small pack. You know how to hunt, track animals, and live off the land. The wind rustles through the trees, and there's a river nearby where wild turkeys might be getting a drink. You're brave, curious, and always ready for a challenge. You might just be Davy Crockett, one of the most famous frontiersmen in American history. Davy Crockett was born on August 17, 1786, in a small cabin near the Nolichucky River in what is now Tennessee. His full name was David Crockett, but most people called him Davy. His parents, John and Rebecca Crockett, were pioneers, people who moved to new places that were still being settled. Life was hard during that time. There weren't grocery stores or big cities nearby, and families had to grow their own food, make their own clothes, and build their homes by hand. Davy didn't get to go to school much because he had to help his family. By the time he was 8 years old, he was already doing chores like chopping wood and hunting for food. He quickly became a skilled woodsman, learning how to track animals and survive in the wild. When he was 12, he worked for a cattle driver and traveled across several states on foot, learning more about people and the land. Even though Davy didn't spend much time in a classroom, he was very smart. He learned from listening to others and from watching what went on around him. As he got older, he became well known in his community for telling exciting stories, making people laugh, and standing up for what he thought was right. When he was 20, Davy married a woman named Mary Finley, and together they had several children. To support his growing family, he worked hard as a farmer and also took part in the local militia, which was a group of men who helped protect their town. He became known in his area not just for his bravery, but also for helping his neighbors and being honest. Davy's skills and character led him to politics. He served as a justice of the peace and later joined the Tennessee state legislature in 1821. Eventually, he was elected to the United States Congress in 1827. In Congress, Davy was known for speaking his mind. He shared the concerns of regular, everyday people, and didn't always agree with powerful leaders. He once said, "I leave this rule for others when I'm dead. Be always sure you're right, then go ahead." One of the things Davy strongly opposed was the Indian Removal Act, which aimed to move Native American tribes off their land. Many powerful leaders supported this law, but Davy believed it was unfair. He spoke out against it, even though it hurt his political career. He lost his spot in Congress in part because of his decision to oppose the law, but he stood by what he believed. After losing his seat in Congress, Davy decided to explore new opportunities. He traveled to Texas, which at the time was not part of the United States, but part of Mexico. Some settlers in Texas wanted to become an independent nation, so they asked for help from people across the U.S. Davy agreed to join them and hoped to build a fresh start for himself and his family. In 1836, Davy arrived at a mission in San Antonio, Texas, called the Alamo. The mission had been turned into a fort where a group of defenders, including Davy, stood their ground in a historic fight. The group was small, and the situation was difficult, but they stayed strong. While Davy and his fellow defenders faced overwhelming odds, their bravery was remembered long after the battle ended. Though Davy Crockett's life ended in Texas, his story lived on. Over time, people told stories about his adventures, and some of these stories became bigger and bolder than real life. Songs were written, plays were performed, and later movies and TV shows helped make Davy even more famous. Some of the tales were true, and some were exaggerated, but they all showed Davy as a man of courage and spirit. One of the reasons many people remember Davy Crockett is because of what he stood for. He believed in fairness, hard work, and honesty. He was proud of his humble beginnings and never pretended to be something he wasn't. Whether he was chopping wood, speaking in Congress, or standing up for strangers in Texas, he did it with bravery and heart. Today, many people still look up to Davy Crockett as a symbol of the frontier spirit, strong, adventurous, and determined to do what's right. His life teaches us that no matter where you come from, you can stand up for your beliefs, help others, and leave a legacy that inspires generations.